Hey, welcome to the Hands Up Radio Show with your boy Trevone Perry. Listen, this is another episode of Strength Talk, and we got some powerhouses with us tonight, man. All is well. I'm so glad that my brother is here with me and agreed to join on in with me. So tonight we're gonna announce them one by one. We got none other than the movie star. He took time off the set, off his new film featured Ain't Nobody But Us. Titus Showers is in here tonight.
Wow, I didn't even know you were talking about me. I knew you were talking about Keith or Kevin.
He was like, "Oh, somebody doing the movie right now."
Man, bless you, bro.
You know you on the movie set. You know you
always honored to be with you, bro. You know, I'm honored, man. Enjoy the fellowship.
All the way from Oklahomians took time out of his busy schedule to get off the radio real quick to come and be here with us tonight. Brother Montrae Tisdale in the building.
What's up?
Give it up for him. Oh, man. The legend. Oh, man. The legend, man. The myth, the legend, the man himself. Keith Wonderboy Johnson is in the house. This man done been a part of everybody project. I'm not playing. Everybody. Everybody. He got a song on everybody's album. If you're a gospel artist, he got a song on your project. Except me and Montrae. We the only ones that we didn't get him yet. We got to get. Well, Montrae at least put him down for a concert. I'm gonna get him on the album too. We got the Kevin Lemons in the building. We had him in the building. He coming back when he could turn his camera on. Kevin Lemons is in the building. Yeah, that's right. Y'all already know. Director extraordinaire, voice the angels themselves. They sang like angels from heaven. Love them guys over there, man. And none other than him and Bishop, they got their matching Bentleys. They driving their Bentleys tonight. They on their way home. They driving their Bentleys. From all of those musical checks they get, and we trying to get on their level. Bishop Cortez Vaughn is in the building tonight as well. My hallelujah belongs to you. Come on in here.
Come on.
Yo, what's up, fellas? It's another month of Strength Talk. How we doing? Are we strengthened? What's good? Anybody could jump on it. That's right. I love it. I love it.
I'm good. I don't know about nobody else. Everybody looking good, so we take that as everybody is good.
I know that's right. That's how I take it, man. Titus Showers, man, got a clothing line as well. Well, like a hat line, and I patronize them, man. I love my hat, man. Y'all gotta get one of these joints. I'm telling y'all, man.
My guy, it's official tissue. I appreciate the support, man, and indeed, it's good to fellowship with you guys once again. Man, it's an honor to be in the building, man. And I look forward to these strength talks. And it's your boy, man. Appreciate you for having me.
I'm going to tell you something. It's people like Titus Showers and Keith and so many of you guys who spoke a word to me, man, that kept this whole thing happening, man. It was like, yo, we need this for the brotherhood, man. We need this for the brotherhood. And I was like, nah, man, we could do something else. And I was like, nah, we need this. And I'm grateful for you guys, doing that because, I really do get strength every time I come on here and wrap it up with y'all, man. It's been amazing. It's been nothing short of amazing. Where we at, man? How we doing? How we feeling, man? Things are progressing. The year is almost over. Can we believe it? It's been over a year since we've been doing this, and the year is almost over already. Once again, these years are just flying by. In this season, how important is it to stay productive and finish strong? Anybody could jump in on that one.
Very productive, and how we started saying this, you got used to the new norm. Now, as you see, I've upgraded. You see, my equipment has, I ain't where we started. I got little crochet, and as you can see, I ain't holding my camera no more. I got a stand. I can't learn how to put my name down. But we got to move on. You got to move forward. Either that or get caught behind the 8 ball, and then you be standing there saying you wish you would have learn, and you got to be. The day you stop learning, that's the day you probably go into the casket. Always be open to learn.
I agree. I had a conversation today. That's crazy that you said that. I actually had a conversation today with a industry pair, and they was asking me questions, and I'm like, I thought you knew this stuff, and they was like, Nah, I don't even know this stuff, bro. That's why I'm asking. And I said, you know what? That's real humbling of you to do that. I mean, because most of us can't do that. We feel like we the know-it-alls and we can't ask questions, man. How important is that to make sure we soak up every piece of knowledge and never cease to evolve? Because when you cease to evolve, it's over for you. I'm hearing an echo. Is that me or somebody's joint? Somebody must have me up loud. But go ahead. I hear y'all.
I
Go
think
ahead.
it's
Somebody
good.
respond to that.
I think it's good that we soak up as much knowledge as we can, but I also think that we have to be careful of the knowledge that we do soak up that doesn't pertain to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can sit at the table of Bishop Vaughn and get gleaned from him and all of the above, but he's a pastor, he's a preacher. I'm not going in that vein, But if he's sitting down and talking to me from an artist perspective, to where I need to know certain things and things of that nature, as far as writing or anything of that nature, I need to avail myself to him to where he can, strategically place information into me that I can receive and I can take a benefit from. So basically what I'm saying is a lot of the times we got to be very careful as to the information that we receive that does not apply to us, because it will fall on deaf ears and it will be a waste.
I love that. I love that. I love that. That's good talk.
Good. To be careful of the knowledge.
I think.
Good, Bishop.
Bishop, your phone is mute. Your phone is muted.
Check your power.
Can y'all hear me now?
Check your power. User.
Can y'all hear me now?
We hear you.
All right. Well, again, greetings to everyone. And yes, I think what the good Reverend Lemons just said, he's a beast in itself. I had the privilege of hosting them a couple of weeks ago at Newburgh, and he wrecked our whole little gathering we was trying to have. But I think the key to even that point is the level of discernment, to be able to use discernment. Not just in the stuff that we gather as a sponge, but even the stuff we choose to disperse out. So I think not only do you have to watch what you intake, you have to watch to make sure you don't cast your pearls among swine. So even the information, because when you share information, Trey, whatever you share in 5 minutes probably took you 15 years to gather.
That's a fact.
That's good.
So I think we have to use a level of maturity to understand I have to be not selective, but discerning with what I even share, because what I went through prepared me to have this level of information, and this information is valuable. Because your hell experience made what you have to say very valuable.
I agree. I agree.
Well, I might not be as deep, Bishop just put that thing, so I put it simple. I think I need to put this to a t-shirt, Trey, to show me how to. I've been telling them, listen, if you want to learn how to be a good plumber, don't go and ask a dentist.
It's true.
Yeah, man.
If you try, whatever you're doing, you're trying to take it to the next level, do your search and be blessed. Talk to somebody who's done what you're trying to do.
That's a fact. I agree. You can't teach unless you've been where I'm trying to go. Absolutely. So I agree. I agree. And you have to know what it takes to get there in order to tell me how to get there. You're not going to give directions if you've never been to the location. So it makes all the sense in the world. At the same time, it's just like, you know, we think it takes something from us, I guess, more or less to be. It's a humbling experience, first of all, to admit that you don't know everything, and then number two, you don't want to tell everybody that you don't know everything. But that's why some people won't ever advance or get ahead because somebody might come and say, "Well, listen, bro, I probably would have helped you with that, but I thought you knew." Well, you was acting as if you knew, and that's why I didn't even help you because I thought you knew how to get on. I thought you knew what to do. So and then there's another thing. Maybe people won't ask because they feel like people won't give them the information. Anyway, this could be a two-edged sword here.
Right.
But as for me, is I say it's nothing wrong with you know, each one teaching one and providing consultations. Make it a business setup as well to the point where you're not wasting your time. That way, if you talk to you blue in the face and they go ahead and do nothing that you said, at least you got something for your time. Montrae, what do you feel about that? As I know you got people coming to you every day. How do I get on radio? How do I do this? Me working in radio, I know how this goes. How do you handle this?
Man, I'm just here to listen tonight. I'm just here to listen, soak up the energy in the room, soak up the knowledge in the room. But I do believe that everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs somebody to coach them through this. Again, if I aspire to be a great choir director or have a great choir, obviously I shouldn't go listen to the symphony choir and orchestra. You know, I should listen to somebody that's killing the gospel game with the choirs, like Uncle Kevin or Ricky Dillard or Uncle Heads, those kind of people. So, I mean, as you already said, you know, everybody needs somebody to go to and listen to, the right people. You shouldn't go listen to someone that's big in the local church and you aspire to go past your ministry in just the Sunday morning church. So that's my take on it.
It makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world. At the same time,
he said something that was great.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Dr. Wonderboy said something great. He said, basically, what the new artists that are coming up, people that are inspiring to be in this field, you know, music field. I don't want to just limit it to gospel, but do your homework, do your research on the people that you call mentors. What have they done, and how have they excelled in what you're doing? One thing that happened to me, and I'm just using me as an example, I went before people clueless. And what I mean by that is I kind of dummied down myself a little bit because I wanted to make sure that I'm doing what I'm doing right. And I wanted to see and let them impart into me what I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, such people like Hezekiah Walker, such people like Donna Lawrence, you know, people that have a great tenure in what I'm doing, I sat at their table and listened to what they had to say and how to go about doing this and how to go about doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then from that morning, you know, I started, you know, forming my own kind of rhythm, you know what I'm saying? So that I won't make sure that I won't copy what they're doing, but I'm enhanced by what they're doing.
I love that.
Does that make sense?
I love that.
Yeah.
Not copying, but enhancing.
But enhancing what you're doing. So when you sit at these people table and you get the knowledge, you sit at a Keith Wonderboy and you get his story and he shows you this and shows you that, and Bishop Vaughn, they sit down and talk to you and all of the above. You gather all of that information, and then you formulate it to what works for you as an individual. Then that's how you have your own identity.
That's good talking.
You're not copying nobody.
That's good talking. And having your own identity, having your own sound, your own look, your own flair, your own this, your own everything. I think we all, in some way, shape, or form, may, I don't want to use the word, for lack of a better word, mimic someone or the people that we grew up inspiring to be like.
Correct.
However, when we came, we still do it in our own way. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody on here sounds like anybody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? From what I see, you can tell who's been influenced, but even when you hear them, it's like, okay, that's him. He still doesn't sound like he's trying to be him, if that makes sense. How important is it to shape out and carve in your own niche and make it yours? Anybody can take that.
Well, I'll say this, if I can jump in.
Go ahead.
It's very important because if we're not careful, and I'm sure Titus can jump in and say something, and Dr. Wonderboy, if we're not careful, we end up trying to be somebody that don't even want to be them.
Jesus.
So then there is a level of uncertainty and unauthentication that happens in that particular process.
You ain't lying.
So I'm gonna leave that right there.
My.
I'm gonna pick it up right there. We end up being somebody that don't even want to be them. Bishop, I was having this talk. Be careful who you envy and who you saying you want to inspire to be like, because then that also means you have to take on the issues I had to go through in order to be who I am. Do you want to go through what I went through? You know what I'm saying? In order to be what you think you want to be?
If you don't do your homework, you don't even know what version you're trying to be.
Right.
Because what I learned in this industry is with some people, I would have rather just be a fan and never met them in real life. Because
a whole lot of them, Doc.
When I met them,
wow.
It caused me to feel another kind of way about their ministry and what they do.
Absolutely.
Bishop, why you all in my backyard? I promise you, I took some people off my playlist, and this is just real. When you get on this side, you get to know people in a different kind of way. And that's what he's basically saying.
And I'm not talking about proclivities. I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm not talking about hang-ups. I'm talking about things about your character.
That's true.
Not behavioral slip-ups. I'm talking about your character and your integrity towards people in general.
People, period.
Right.
That's the part.
I love that.
Absolutely,
and your hatred for somebody else because you feel like your platform may be now in danger. That's what.
Jesus.
But we don't have to talk about that. I was just giving my 2 cents. Titus, pray for me.
We already on it.
You always on it, Doc. I promise you, man. You always on it. This is heavy stuff, man.
First of all, and we spoke about this too. I think it's the big fish in a small pond mentality, crabs in a barrel. But anyway, Jay-Z said a smart line one time. What you expect the crab to do when they all in a barrel?
Crabs in a barrel.
Why are they in the barrel anyway? What do you expect them to do?
Like you, man.
So we're already in a small pond. Nobody wants to see somebody get. I mean, we're rooting for each other, right? That's what we say. I know I really am rooting, but we're not really rooting. No, it's just human nature. Most people don't want people to get ahead of them. They don't. They're not happy if you number 2 and they number 3. They want to be number 2. Or if you number 1 and they number 2, they want to be number 1.
That's because the view of the race and the perspective of the race is twisted and contorted.
Correct.
Right.
Because when you really have a real perspective of what this race is all about, then you'll understand there's no way I could come in second to somebody else because I'm never running against him. So we're trying to beat people that we're not even in contest with.
Right.
Man, it's too much competition, Doc.
Now it causes me to hate somebody who really could have helped me.
Yeah, I don't have no need to hate them.
Yeah.
You're right.
This is not a contest of who can be better. It should be a contest of how, and this was the only way you're in the industry like a Keith Wonderboy Johnson this long. It's not because you're in contest with the mighty clouds or the spiritual QC. Right. It's because you're in contest with yourself.
Right.
And if you stop evolving and you stop beating you, then you have to try to beat everybody else because you figured out that what you want is really too big for you. So now the race makes me relevant, not the content of who I am.
You will let me close,
and that's where the mistake comes.
Yo, that's crazy. Go ahead. Somebody's talking. Go ahead.
I think we should just let Bishop have this whole.
Let him have this.
You just gotta let him.
Just give him the topic.
Yeah, just give him a topic and let him go.
Absolutely.
Profound knowledge tonight. I love it.
I really put it this, I can't break it down as good as Bishop, but I really feel you have to look at yourself. It takes, to me, I put it this way. It takes a real adult, whether you're a man or a woman, not to be a hater.
That's true.
Bro.
You have to be wrong to look at a person and be like, you know what? I like what you're doing. Now, unfortunately, because there's so many, I say, crabs in a barrel, that some of these people choose to be a hater. When the same person you hating on, you could have got a nugget and learn from them. So it takes. I can use myself as an example. It takes a certain person. You gotta always be careful the way you treat a person, because you know what today is, but you don't know what tomorrow gonna hold.
That's a fact.
So I give myself for example. When he came into the industry, I can use the name because he's like my little brother. When James Fortune came into the industry, green. So he was up under me. First time we went to the Stellars, I was introducing him to everybody, whatever. I was just being kind because that's the person I am. I was, sharing nuggets because that's the person I am. If somebody come to me, I still always been here, so I share nuggets. Didn't know that some years later, we'll be in Korea opening up. I'll be singing for the troops. I'm opening up for the same person that I basically helped get them there. But guess what? Because I was kind,
see,
you heard I said we was singing for the troops in Korea.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I love that. And that it's important to know who you are. When you know who you are, you never have to feel inferior or have a complex about you and no one else. It's crazy we talking about this topic because just literally the other day, someone was telling me something. It was like, telling me about where someone else was at in the rankings on the charts. And I was like, who? I said, oh, that's amazing. They was like, yeah, that's your competition. So you got that. I said, well, first of all, I don't have no competition. And I said, I'm not saying it in no shady way. I said, my competition is me. If I did better than I did last year, then I've progressed. I can't base my success now upon what someone else is doing. I can only base it upon what I did last. If I've done better now than what I was doing last, then I have progressed. That's how you measure up your success. You don't look at Jay-Z and say, oh, now let me try to sell 1 million albums, or let me try to sell it. What? You haven't gone through the process yet to get on that level. Do the work where you are at. And that, I think that's where it comes from. That's where it stems from, us not being realistic about who we are and where we are. And there's nothing wrong with bigging up yourself, but having a false sense of self is a whole nother question. How important is it to remain humble and stay in the right frame of mind, guys?
Strictly important, very important, man, because you always have to be mindful of who you're working for, man. And that would eliminate all of the competitiveness and you just operating in your lane. And again, I shared this on here before, God encourages us to minister according to the ability which I have given you. And so once you're operating in that lane, giving him the glory, giving him the honor, you don't have to worry about, being high and mighty and forgetting who you work for, because that's what happens, in the industry. We don't be humble no more. We're touring and we're doing this and doing that, moving units, and we forget who we're working for. And then God just have to humble us down. He had to snatch us back down, you know, and we got to be mindful that we have to let him do the exalting, and we just keep on being thankful and grateful for who we're working for, man. That's my mindset.
I agree. And a lot more of us should be humble. And when I say that is, and the fact, you tell me the last gospel art, there's only quite a few, but the last of them that's going platinum. Who's going platinum? Who's doing hundred millions of who's selling hundreds of millions of records? To have this kind of head to be like, you know, and even the people that are doing that don't act like that. You know, that's another crazy spectrum, because some of the people on the secular side that I've dealt with and worked with, and my brother dealt with and worked with, we show us mad love. You're like, come on, this and that. Yo, you got a shirt? Send it to me, bro. I got it. I'll sport it for you. Like, what? Like, you're a freaking millionaire. You want to sport something? And we over here acting like we can't help each other in no kind of way. So it's just important. That's what I love about everybody on here, because all of you dudes are humble. And I'm a fan of every last one of y'all. I only invite people on the show that I'm a fan of. I'm sorry to say that out loud, but it's the truth. I'm a fan of everybody on here, and I invite people that I'm a fan of and that I can rock with, because at one way, shape, you know, or one time or another, all of you guys have shown yourself to be friendly to me, and it was real. I never forget when I came to Oklahoma. Montrae, that's his city, man. He got the radio game on lock out there. I didn't even ask him anything. You know what he did when he found out I was in town? He was like, "Yo, bro, what you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing such and such." He's like, nah. Actually, what you gonna do on Sundays? You coming in the studio with me, and you gonna host the show with me, the whole show. I'm like, what? I was like, all right, bro. Who does that? People don't share their spotlight. I never forgot that, bro. Never forgot that. People don't share their spotlight. How important is it to embrace each other and share that spotlight?
To me, it's so important. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Trey. You got it.
I think it's so important, man, you know, to share your spotlight. You know, anybody that drops music, man, I'm always supporting it. I'm always sharing it. I can't always add it if my program director doesn't add it, but I'll always purchase the song, the album, the record, and share it. Because I believe what you make happen for somebody else, God will make happen for you, you know, and it takes nothing away from anybody to simply purchase a song, share it, encourage their followers or their people, their platform to purchase the song on a record. So that's just me, man. I'm always supporting. I'm always sharing music. I'm always supporting everybody, whether it's good, whether it's not, whether I like the song, whether I don't like the song. You know, that's just me. So I think it's so important, man.
I love that, because I know somebody that told me they wasn't going to share nothing if they don't like it. So I was like, okay, you know, I hear you. I guess you're entitled. You're entitled to your opinion, I guess.
If I can tag off a Trey, I think the Montrae, I think the dynamic Trevone has to be now, and I'm not trying to be deep. It's, you know, it's just I'm a thinker, so y'all forgive me. I think the dynamic now has to be, because we say a lot about what they have not done, what they did not do, the opportunities that they did not give. But it's hard to lock down because there's so many who they are.
Wow.
And so I think the perspective and the angle has to go from who they are to who we are. So instead of us talking about what they did, let's talk about what we're doing.
Right.
That's how we change the narrative for another generation. It's like a Jesus complex, how he could have came talking about everything that Adam did to put man in the situation they're in. But instead, he talked about what he came to do. I know where you're at, but I came that you might have life. and have it more. So I think with this Trevone Perry show and everything we doing, it's got to be, I don't care what they did. What we're doing is X, Y, Z. So they may have hated, but that's not even my conversation no more, because I got a Keith Wonderboy, I got a Titus Showers, I got a Montrae Tisdale, I got a Kevin Lemons, I got a Trevone Perry, I got a Charlie Perry, I got a Jason Clayborn, I got a Jason McGee, I got a Lonnie Hunter. I'm going to show you, because I can't identify all the days, but I can tell you all the weeds. So I'm going to identify the we, because they haven't done anything. So let me emphasize what the we is doing, so you don't even have to worry about what the they did. So I think that perspective has got to be what we push. So when we push the fact, yo, Montrae had me on his show, I hosted with him. Then another artist says, well, I got to be in Oklahoma in a couple of months. Maybe I need to reach out to Montrae. Maybe I need to reach out. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be our drive, is what we do versus what they did. Because that's the next wave, is the we, because the they is about to die.
Wow.
Oh my God. This cat right here, man.
The day is about to die.
Yeah.
The excuses is about to die.
Because they have to die when we stop breathing life into their they.
Mm-hmm.
So when we stop feeding that attitude, when we stop feeding that hatred, because when you begin to have a voice, the only thing that validates old stuff is your opinion of it.
Wow.
So when God gives you a voice and you take that voice to always bring the rhetoric of the past and the they and the way they hurt me, the way they hated me, the way they did me, then we keep that relevant. But when I turn the they off and I breathe into the we, then the we has to live, because I'm not feeding the they anymore. So the only way for they to live is become a we.
Wow. Uncle Cortez is from another planet.
I'm telling
He's
you,
from another planet, man.
And Jason Clayborn, you are jumping in right in the fire. He knew when to come on. He knew when to come on. Look, he knew when to come on.
Jay over at rehearsal.
And Jay is in a whole rehearsal right now. He said, "I'm coming on real quick." The fire is here. Listen, it's all about perception. It's all about your perception of things, what it looks like, what you think it is. Like we just said, you think you know what it is to be. You don't know what it is until you've been there, okay? Until you've been in the seat. Be careful what you ask for. If you're looking to thrive and go to the next level, it can absolutely happen for you. But their success leaves a trail. It always leaves clues. Ask the people that was before you. And I love what Bishop Cortez Vaughn said. That's one of the things I love about the Noriega podcast. He says, he calls it, we celebrate the legends now. We give out the legends their flowers, because after 10 years or so in the game, you're considered a vet in the rap industry. So he said, what we do is we created this platform, and now look at how major that platform is on Revolt, and now has had the largest interview with Kanye West ever on Revolt TV. Done broke records, and it was off of something he started just to honor the legends that people were forgetting about, because they was in with the new and out with the old in that case. And so this is what this forum is for the forgotten, or who you think may be forgotten and still out here doing it. We come together to strengthen one another, to say, listen, we're not going to see each other fall. We're going to keep building, and we're going to keep doing what we do. The show is widely watched. About tens of thousands watch it on every time we do it once a month, just to watch us talk, because somebody is being encouraged. Whether they tell you or not, they're watching you. Whether you know it or not, I got news for y'all. They're watching you guys. Whether you know it or not, whether they acknowledge you or not, whether they comment or not, whether they like or share, they are watching you. It shows up. That's not numbers. Men and women lie. Numbers don't. They're watching. So be careful how you conduct yourself at all times. Keith, you're a vet. How important is it to make sure you conduct yourself in the right fashion for this next season of Miracles? Your joint is mute.
That's part. Still, a lot of times they don't understand. That's part of your brand.
Correct.
Your brand is how you conduct yourself or whatsoever. So, you know, now this is in gospel, you know, they talk about they don't like to be called a local. They don't like to be called a loc or, you know, local. So all that means is you know, at that time when you're being a local, you're still going through training. So again, you got to know who you are and you got to know who you under. So for example, you know, Trey, no, I can't. The trainer was my father. Now,
right.
We in the New York area, but we were local, but my father taught us to be professional. Local. I have stuff on my resume right now that they look like, wow. Yeah, Madison Square Garden, Central Park, Statue of Liberty, Celebration, the Apollo, Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music. I played all those venues as a local artist in New York. So that's what the way you, and he always taught to be, you know, handle yourself in a certain manner. That's why, so when you have to be neutral. That's why some artists ask themselves, you don't play engagements at churches because unfortunately, you know, Bishop Vaughn is here. He can tell you, if you tell you the truth, half of the artists don't know how to act when they get in the church.
Yikes.
You tell them to come up, all right. You tell them, all right, I want you to do the sermonic solo. They're trying to turn the whole church out during the, you know, and then they're just all the way out of order. So all that, when you know how to, you know, carry yourself, all that comes in part.
Character building. What are the things that shape us? I think good background, coming from, you know, a good legacy, a good upbringing. Everyone doesn't have that. Montrae spoke about the importance of mentorship. Bishop is speaking about the importance of talking about the now, forget about the they and what was, because that time has come and gone. The shape of gospel music is in our hands. Everybody that's on here has an assignment. That's what I got from what you said, Bishop. You let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and the they
come on in here, Jake.
Listen, y'all. Let me tell you something. I'm glad you all are talking about this, and I'm sorry for being late. But y'all remember Mama Sue from Sunday's Best?
Yes.
We are working on her record.
Okay.
We're doing an in-house live recording tomorrow here in Louisville. Quad is here from Ricky Dillard, Morris Mingo, a whole bunch of producers. She came out of her pocket, and she ain't paying us what we should get, but we are sowing into her ministry. And she is an older lady, but she has oil, and it's a testament of knowing. And we have to start taking what we say and putting it into action, and really working together and really making this thing happen. And I love these calls and I love what we do, but I want us to start putting into action our brotherhood and really working together, because we really need each other.
Absolutely.
We really are going to have to band together in this next season of ministry when it comes to gospel music. And we really gonna have to work together and keep and pull our coins together.
You ain't lying.
No, I mean, I'm just being honest. If you got 500, I got 500, and you got 500, that's 1,500. Let's figure it out. Let's get these musicians in here. Let's get these producers in here, and let's work it out. There are people that are willing to work and are willing to make this thing happen. And Mama Sue was like, Jason, you didn't have to do this. You know, you could have charged me all nominal amounts of money. It ain't about the money. You know, it's about the ministry, and it's about sowing into others for their dreams to come to pass. And if God can use Moses when he was in his 80s, God can use anybody, whatever age. There's no age limit on when God can use people, man. So I really want to, I'm proud of you, Trevone.
I'm proud of you.
With what's happening with you on the billboards, Montrae, all of that. Bishop, you've been grinding. I've been seeing you everywhere, leading everywhere. Kevin, you already know what's up. I love you. And big bro, Keith, Wonderboy, and then Titus, you already know. But I want to say this, because I'm gonna get back in here with her in a second. But we really need to put our talk into action. So it does not just become talk on a regular basis, but it becomes action where they actually see. I got a song right now, man, and I've been trying to get a couple of different artists on, and they've been playing me to the left. And it's cool, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna just reach out to my brothers, you know, Keith and Bishop and Titus, and we're gonna work together and put you on the song. I'm not gonna beg nobody to do nothing.
I know that's
you know, time out for begging people, you know what I mean, to work with you in the kingdom. It's time out, it's time out for that. It's time for us to just do it. You know what I'm saying? And I love all of you all, Keith. You already know, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's 100 million. You know what I mean? but this is the season of bringing our talk into manifestation.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's my 2 cents, bro.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Jay, I love you, big bro. Man, tell Mama Sue I love her too, and I already know.
If Mama Sue know me too, tell her Mama Sue I love Mama Sue. I had her on the show one time.
Let me tell you something. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna take y'all in here so y'all can see it.
Yeah, do that.
Hold on real quick.
They having a whole rehearsal, y'all. See, it's Facebook. Y'all getting a treat tonight. Y'all getting it behind the scenes footage.
Titus Showers, Wonderboy Johnson, Cortez, Vaughn,
Love you, Mama Sue.
Man, just working, man. We getting it worked out, man. And hey, let me tell y'all something though, real quick. Let me step back. Mama Sue got some church Sunday morning joints.
Well, come on in here.
Oh boy.
But
come on in here.
Let me tell you, we doing 5 songs. Every last one of them you can sing in church. Every last one of them.
I believe
Every last one of them.
I believe it, because she smashed on Sunday best, like straight up. She smashed on. She's churchy.
She's amazing. Mama Sue is amazing.
Yo, man, listen, man. Politics. I love y'all brothers, man. And Trevone, I promise next time I'm gonna be on time.
Bro, you already know. You already know.
God got me on assignment, man, and I'm really serious about that, brothers, man. I really, really feel like that we need to band together and work together. That's the only way that it's gonna happen, y'all. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I mean, outside of the talk, man, let's bring the manifestation. Bishop, send me the song. Let's get it finished. Let's work it out. You know what I mean? Let's not worry about no funds or none of that. Let's just do it. You know what I mean? And let's be talking live, straight up. You know what I mean? Whatever we need to do to get whatever we need to get done, let's get it done, man. And let's use our resources and work together. That's what the white folk do.
Absolutely. The Jewish, yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do.
That's what they do, bro.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
First of all, Jason, they're not called white people. Okay, so let's make sure that we're clear with that.
Okay. What are they called then, Kevin?
They're called clear people. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not doing this with him tonight. I'm not.
Here we
he
go.
ain't got his picture up there, and I can't see him.
Wait a minute. Kevin, where you at eating a shish kebab? Where you go?
They got that backdrop going on, man.
Oh, I knew he was setting something up. That's what it was.
Montrae couldn't be the only one with a backdrop. I had to get mine.
Get your backdrop right.
No. This man really waited until 20 minutes to set up that backdrop just to show you something, Montrae. He said, I'm going to show you something tonight.
Kevin is a mess, man. Like,
he said, you are not going to show me up on this here thing.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
It's good, man. I love y'all, man. And I promise you, man, I feel like that we really, really have to put, and this is not, we have to stop the convention talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, bro, yeah, bro, I'm out now off that. Let's make it action. And if they ain't about that action,
I agree.
that convention talk is for the birds, bro. I don't want that. From the top to the bottom, tell her whoever said it. Tell them I don't care.
I don't do it. Whoever I talk, if I want to work with you, that means I really want to do it. I ain't got no time for no convention talk.
Yeah, bro. Like we want to. It's just go time. I feel like it's go time, and then we cannot forget the things that we talked about through the pandemic, man.
We'll never forget
what
those
God
times.
was showing us and what He was teaching us.
Bro, we still in the pandemic.
Man. He was trying to show us that. Hey,
we still in the pandemic.
I'm talking about like he was. We are, bro. We are, man. I feel like he was trying to show us that, man. We really do need to work together and need each other. We need each other. I need y'all, man.
You ain't lying, bro.
I can't do it without y'all, bro. I need y'all. We're part of the same team.
Facts.
Yeah, bro.
Facts.
I ain't on no different team from y'all.
You ain't lying, bro. We in this together.
I think this pandemic, during the course of the pandemic, has humbled all of us.
Yeah, bro.
Because it's so crazy that all of us at one time, at the same time,
all shut down.
Sitting on the sofa.
All of us.
Doing
concerts in our living room.
Concerts in the living room when nobody going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like, and Bishop, you can help me with this. I feel like God said, I'm tired of y'all being on y'all own island.
Woo.
Let me shut this down for a second.
Wow.
Where nobody eats.
Wow.
Nobody is on top of each other. Nobody is doing anything. We all seeing eye to eye.
Since Kevin, go ahead.
Now that we were down and he has, kind of lightened the load a little bit, now it's time for us all to come, like Jason said, come together and come all the way up together as it was originally planned.
I agree.
So since Kevin said my name, I'll say something only because what up, Jay? Only because he said something. But I think we all can agree that not just when it pertains to gospel music, but Christendom, there are a lot of walls. There are a lot of barriers. Then you cross over into gospel, what we consider gospel music, Christian music, or the proclamation of gospel music, it's walls. What Kevin alludes to is, as Jason's already said, and we've said multiple times, it's the unity effect that now causes things to change. When the children of Israel are walking around walls, nothing changes until their voices are lifted in unity. Before that, they said they needed a miracle. They didn't really need a miracle. They just needed to be obedient to the instructions. So sometimes this miracle, God, we need you to move in a special way. God is saying, no, I just need a few of y'all to pull together like you said you would. And then we will watch walls begin to fall. Why? It does not mean the enemy won't be waiting, but it means it's one less thing you don't have to worry about. Because I've already told you you can conquer the enemy. You just got to get the wall down to get victory. So sometimes it's just a matter of us coming together. And the good thing about convention talk is there's no more conventions. So that should be null and void anyway. But at the end of the day, because that day is over and that time is played, and if we're going to do anything, we got to have our own mini convention, which now becomes intense fellowship for purpose and for destiny. So I think that as we come together, especially on this call, the other brothers that are usually on, and I think it's where it is, and God will allow, when we lift our voice together, when we lift our gift together, when we lift our talents together. Everybody didn't sing. Some people were instrumentalists. Some people were horn players. But the thing was, I just need you to do it together. And then after that, the wall comes down and the fear that the wall coming down puts into the mouth and the heart of the enemy gives you victory without having to fight as hard.
So, Bishop, golly, you just gave me a whole lot.
I love you. When I tell you, I love this connection that we've all created, the bond that we created, because it wasn't, you know, I know, thank y'all so much for showing me love, but this not about me. It's about us. We created this together because y'all was some of the first people, a part of the very first couple of first episodes, and y'all been on ever since. So this was created through all of us. And every time we added a new brother, yo, whenever you do it, I'm on. You know, that's how it just kept going. And then we caught a cohesive unit that's like, I'm in it whenever y'all do it, as long as I'm free, as long as and even like Jason, he is somewhere right now. He's working and still taking time out. When you're dedicated, you're dedicated. and that's the next thing. If you're going to get anywhere, you're going to have some stick-to-itiveness and some consistency and some dedication. Without it, you are going nowhere. I promise you that much. So you can't start things and not finish. So it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to actually be about it. And everybody that's on this line, I love how you all are about it. And I look up to you guys. Like I told Jason, like I was telling everybody, Jay, before you got, I'm fans of everybody on here, man. I admire all of you guys. Keith, you had something to say? I saw you was trying to say something.
It was just, you know, a coincidence how, like you said, the beginning of this, when we first started.
That was a year ago now.
Yeah, it was some frustration, but guess what? Couldn't nobody hit you with the ooh-wee. You know how we call it in New York, the ooh-wee talk. Because I'm like, dude, we all at the house. When we started, we at the house. So, you know what I'm saying? And then basically it was just like, you know, real talk. Then sometimes we was encouraging each other. Then sometimes you had to remind us that we had an audience. Because we started cutting up.
I started talking too much. I said, okay, there's people actually watching. You know that, right?
Because you know what, too, and what he said, it's because cats really ain't really built no brotherhood. They built a industry hood of just industry. It hadn't been no where they can actually be who they are.
That's true.
Right.
Wow.
So then when everybody gets around each other, they prancing around and, you know, and it's all prance and it ain't no real talk where, like you said, like he said, sometimes we be talking, we be like, oh shoot, we on live, we forgot about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we just spitting it real. You know what I mean?
Kevin Lemons, it's been many a months. I was like, okay, I'm about to have to end this real quick. I'm about to mess up my whole career before I even get one. I'll just throw it all out the window.
I think one of the other reasons why, Trevone, that you enjoy this platform so much with the people that you have on there is that there is a level of respect for every person that is on here.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult to have these kind of forums when you don't respect the people that's on.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? There's a genuine love of respect and creativity that everyone has that brings to the table. And like Jason said, you know what I'm saying? We are building a brotherhood, you know? And so anything is liable to happen in these kind of settings because we become family. We become real with one another. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you all allowing me to be on this. I'm the new kid on the block. I know Trey is younger.
Second time now. You in it now. You a part. That's it. You locked.
Hey, listen, I appreciate y'all.
You keep eating in our face.
You said what?
I said you obviously extra comfortable because you keep eating in our face.
Listen. I make it no secret, bro. I'm fat.
Keith,
crazy,
Keith, but in the earlier days, it was Jason eating it.
It was Jason, and it still is Jason sometimes.
Jason
at the table.
It still is Jason.
Listen, I ain't gonna turn down no plate hey, especially if the wife cooks something for you, I'm eating that. I'm eating it in
Right.
your face.
No, I ain't gonna hold you. You know who started that? It's like I think everybody was being respectful. Jabari Johnson with his disrespectful self. He was eating every episode. He's like, "Yo, bro, what are you eating now?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I ordered my DoorDash." I'm like, "Nigga, we live." Eating the whole gyro.
Hey, I'm about to get off here, y'all. I want to tell some. I want to tell it publicly. Montrae, I am very, very proud of you and your hustle and what you've been doing, man, and how you have been out here getting it. I'm very proud of you, man. Keep it up. And I want to say to you, don't get caught up in the relationships of who you know. You know what I mean? That's cool, but get caught up in the fact that people are loving the ministry and what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I want to encourage you, bro. Keep at it, bro. You have a gift, man, and God has incredible things for you to do, bro.
Wow.
Thank you, big bro. Love you, man.
Yeah. I love y'all, man. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna go back in here.
Love you too, Brody. Go do your thing.
Y'all, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Do your
love
thing.
y'all, bro. Love all y'all.
Gonna keep promoting.
You already know.
But like you were saying, Kev, it's a true brothership, true brotherhood, and there's a mutual respect. Everybody is no matter how much skin they got in the game. We know the legends is here, like Keith and and all that, and we have Lonnie on, and we give them their flowers. And Stan, even when yourself, even y'all, you guys have been doing it for umpteen years. I only got 15 years in it. I'm quite sure you guys have been doing it 30, 40, some of you. And we the up and comings, so I believe in giving respect where respect is due, and that's what you're gonna always get from me. I respect each and every last one of you, and like I said, if that wasn't the case, I probably wouldn't have asked you to come on. But I respect each and every last person in the building, and I feel like there's a wealth of knowledge that you have that you can give to the people. Go ahead, Keith.
But just like he just said, okay. So I do, for example, you and Trey might be considered more of the young bucks, right? Mm-hmm. So the younger generation, like Jason said, they like
you can add me in that.
Yeah, he up there looking at my gray beard and called me over. Come on.
Titus said, "I'm young too, nigga. What you talking about?"
Don't be trying to disrespect us. Don't be trying to disrespect us.
Okay, the point I was making is this with the younger, they like to throw names, but what I share on what's key when you start throwing names, what do those names that you throwing, what do they say about you?
Whoa. Wow. That's it, bro. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
I did this with this person and they don't shout you back out, bro. That's a hurting feeling.
For example, you know what I'm saying? You know, Trey, but I was like, where my mind was at, I was far from this. I was like, yo, you're not skipping me in this restaurant. You're not skipping me on this chicken line. I'm getting them chicken line. But you was always respectable though.
Absolutely. You big bro.
When it comes to like quote unquote, I don't take that lightly. Somebody call me a legend or whatsoever. But when you go to names like that, think about what people say about you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know. And that's part of what you were saying earlier. That's part of the brand too. Your brand, your reputation.
I agree. Yeah. I believe there's been a changing of the guards. That's happened already. But there's even there's a different shift, and social media helped to usher that in. How do you embrace the newness when you've been so used to the familiarity of how things work? How do we embrace the climate of where we're at musically now based upon what we were doing 10 years ago? They say you can't pour new wine into old wineskins. What are we doing now with the newness? I mean, I hear the freshness that Titus is coming with and everybody's coming with. How do we make sure we're staying fresh musically, Uncle Kev? How do we make sure we're staying fresh?
That's a great question. And I'm gonna turn that over to Bishop because I'm having problems in that area myself. Like what is the next thing? Because everything is changing from where I was when I first started and what I know. And part of me I'm just being honest, part of me doesn't want to change because a lot of stuff that we see now is temporary.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? And
you just answered the question, bro.
For traditional, not saying traditional music or anything, but I'm just a stickler for traditional values. You know, and if it worked for my grandmother and their parents and worked for my mom and this is that from generation to generation to generation, it has worked, you know, then that's where I am. That's where I'm looking at. So I'm having a little difficult time, you know, with this new wave of things that's going on because a lot of the music now don't make sense to me. I was brought up in the era to where every gospel song had some kind of scriptural base to it.
Substance.
Had some substance to it. Now everything is about a pop and a bop. I'm still learning. What is this bop? What is that? And I got a few bops record. You see what I'm saying? But I'm still lost. Like, what is that?
You're right, bro, man.
I'm gonna say this before I let Bishop Cortez tear us up. And I'm gonna say this. I think we should look at it from the aspect of it's like and this is a different but it's the same thing. If you watch when I finish, Biggie told Puffy told Biggie rather, you know, all that hardcore stuff, save that for side B. Side A, I need something for the ladies. I need something to make these Negroes dance, you know.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. All the spiritual stuff, we need that. We need those things. That's what we need to pour through. But if you want them to pay attention to you, we need something for side A now. We need this. We need that. I think it's in that same type thing. You get what I'm saying? I'm just using the foolish things to confine the why.
The thing with that though, Trey, is we can't override what is powerful and what is meant to change lives.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I think side A, it should be the introduction.
Okay.
Grabbing your attention. You know what I'm saying? But then if you don't have anything to keep your attention or to keep you there, you're going to wander off to whatever.
That's true.
And so I'm from the old school, Bishop, that my mama taught me if I can't feel nothing, it ain't gospel.
Right.
No, I'm dead serious. My mama told me, she said, if it don't hit me here, if I can't lift my hands, if it doesn't challenge me to change or challenge me to do better and things of that nature, no, that's not gospel.
Mm-hmm. Now,
and that has stuck with me. That has stuck with me. So now I'm having a hard time.
Now, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, catch what I'm saying. I'm not saying just give them feel good without substance, because prime example, Kirk does it. Even in his bops, I get the message. I'm like, yo, this song is encouraging. Smile will make you want to cry because you like, dag, even though it's a little bop and I'm bopping my head, but I'm still thinking about, even though when I hurt, see, I smile. I know God is working. If there's a message behind it, you get what I'm saying? Go ahead, Bishop. You got something to say on it?
Yeah. I think that is not just, Kevin, a musical thing. That's a church thing too, which is why a lot of gifted musical people can't get along or have a hard relationship with senior leadership, is because you bring in gifted musical people to draw people, but you have no substance to keep on. So we get into these battles. David has an awesome responsibility biblically, and hopefully I could in my Keith Wonderboy knowledge, he said, I ain't gonna say all that, I'm gonna say it like this. But so hopefully he can come back and say this a little simpler. David, in his earlier years, his weapon was not the slingshot. It was his harp and his worship.
Wow.
He becomes king, gets in all this trouble, but the only thing we see that he did not use anymore was really his harp and his worship, because he had reached a pinnacle of success that felt like maybe I don't need my harp and my worship like that anymore until he got in trouble with Bathsheba. And then now there's an illegitimate child that is now in the process, and he has to go on his face back into sackcloth and ashes on what he was called to do in the first place. I believe the number one thing for myself and everyone else is never forget what you were called to do. I don't care what I feature on, you gonna get me. It can be a rap song, but you gonna get me.
You gonna get me.
It can be a hip hop song, but you gonna get me. And somewhere in there, I think we have to make sure we are authentically who he's called us to be. So if there's no scripture in there, if you feature me, you're gonna get one. If there's no, if you feature me, and there's no way I'm gonna do a whole 45-minute set and we ain't preaching somewhere in there. I mean, it's just, because I've learned, and this is one thing I pray for artists, is that they learn to be the totality of who he created them to be and not the one side people applauded.
Wow.
Ooh. Because the totality of you may not be applauded like that one particular side will be, but that's where you got to be okay with being you. Yeah. Because there's an audience that needs the authentic you, whether that's 15 years down the line or 20 years down the line, they still need the authenticity and the full capacity of who you are. If that helped at all. If it didn't, like for instance, I'll give you an example. Kev, when you came down, well, you didn't have to come. We were in Atlanta and you came to do our thing at New Birth.
Yes, sir.
I intentionally, because I knew what my bishop wanted. I knew what he likes, and he likes choirs. So he pulled me in the office the next day in his little suite area and was like, Vaughn, he's Bahamas. Let me talk to you, man. And I mean, he was just blown. He said, they did the old thing and they did the new stuff and they gave me, and I knew, but the thing was, Kevin Lemons, and I didn't even know nothing about your name is above all names till you sang it. That's when our church started doing it, is when I heard Kevin Lemons do it. When I heard Kevin Lemons turn the choir and do all the old stuff with the funky grooves, I was like, oh my God, we can do this. But that was being the authenticity of who Kevin is. And I meant what I said, and I'm not putting brownie points on myself. I meant what I said about you in the intro. God will choose, Titus, individuals in certain dispensations of time to preserve a sound that he wants in the earth realm.
Wow.
Bishop.
Yes, sir.
Like this, how this thing empowers each other. I need your cash app, man, because you just really, really, you helped me really.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, seriously. Now, what I tell them, some of the young people, you hear this a lot. Oh, we changing the game. Or they say, I don't want you, don't put me in no box. I say, when you know what you're called to do, it's okay if they put you in the box. The thing is, they showed enough respect for you to put you in the box. Just not, if you want, you can expand the box a little bit, but do what you're called to do. So, for example, I was blessed. When they called me for the Ricky Dillard, no rehearsals, nothing. All I had was them 2 minutes of sound check or whatever. But like what you just said, Bishop, how you said, don't matter, when they call you, you know what you're going to get. So, you call me, I'm squalling before we get leaving. I'm going there.
Yes, sir, man.
When you started embracing it, I embrace it now. So I was literally laughing. Some people, but when you know what you call to do, when I did the event with Montrae, with Trey, now some other people that don't know who they are, they might get offended. So Montrae, this is how he introduced. He said, okay, I know some of y'all that found y'all know we quiet, but keep Wonderboy get ready to come up. And we got some of these people, we gonna hear them tambourine. Somebody gonna put their hand on their hip and they gonna start dancing in a while. Now, give you an example. Did you look at Snoop mother film?
I watched it and I love the way Kirk Franklin tore that place down and the Williams brothers.
When he went to church,
Snoop was going crazy.
Exactly. And it wasn't just Snoop. You
had
a bunch of gangsters,
all them Crips,
rappers, everything.
They were going in.
Because everybody wants church but the church. Never mind. I'm gone. See y'all. God bless you.
I ain't lying.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me, man.
You know what? You know what's crazy about what y'all just said? And I'm going to get off it because I'm going to touch on something that me and Montrae talked about a little while ago.
We're the only ones leaving our roots. And I'm not talking about the concept between CCM and I'm not talking about that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You can do a 4-5-1, 4-5-6, 2-6-5, whatever you want to do. But the gospel is the life, the birth, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus the Christ. Jesus. I don't care what progression you do. Can I hear Jesus and see him in what you're presenting? And the church is the only place where we profess a savior we don't even want.
Yes, sir, man.
And what you're saying, I want to piggyback just a little bit. Just a little bit, Bishop, because I'm about ready to run through. I'm about ready to run laps around the block.
Yes, sir, man. Look, if you can't say his name and you can't tell me, if you can't, like the old preachers used to say, and my dad, man, if you can't go to the cross, then you ain't preaching, man. So, you gotta mention, that is the gospel, Doc. That's the gospel.
Yeah.
We walk church on our terms.
Right. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's because we've turned Jesus to be a Jesus on our terms.
Wow.
Have you noticed, Bishop? And Trey, I know you got something to say.
No, go ahead.
I was just going back to thinking about the award shows and all of that. When they have certain gospel artists on there, they be in there drinking, they be in there smoking. They be doing everything above the sun. But when Shirley Caesar hits any one of those stages,
that's a fact.
Everything is at attention.
Yeah.
Everything. And what's crazy, as you look, the one thing we got in common, like you said, when you add those mainstream shows, all of us represent, like you said, what they call the church. They try to do away. Kev, you represent choirs. Montrae, Bishop. I'm representing Cortez. They try to throw away the real church.
They do.
But when it get down to the nitty gritty, you can't throw it away. You can't throw that away, Doc. You can't throw it away.
I hope y'all realize I was with the show, we're very strategic with having all kinds in here. One day we're gonna get some CCM people too. We want them in here too. I'm very, very strategic with that. and I'm saying that from the spectrum of this is what we do, right? And there's no different God. You know what I'm saying? Well, not unless you're serving God Moon, God Spoon, not the Jesus Christ God we serve. There's no different God. So what is the difference between your quartet and your gospel and your squalling, between my hip hopish or my worship, and between when Titus want to go Jodeci on us sometimes? What's the difference? Is we all singing about Jesus? If it has the word of God in it, let's celebrate it and let's go with it. You don't have to toot your nose up at nobody just because they don't do what you do. In fact, I don't want nobody to do what I want you to do what you do. Let me come do what I do. You do what you do. That way we can have a variety. I'm sorry, maybe y'all love this, but I went to an event, and I'm not going to even say what it was. But I went to an event that happens annually, and it was the same thing all night long. And we got up and it was like a breath of fresh air. The people popping like, woo, woo. Because you know what? They done heard 80 of the same music all night long. I can't take it. I love, and I grew up choir boy. I direct the choir. I could direct my behind off. This is what I love to do that. But there's but so much you can take of the same thing all night long. You speak for yourself. I'm speaking for me. So I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with having variety. And why can't we have that and have parity in the gospel music industry? That's what helps us grow. And we're not going to all reach the same demographics of people. You know what I'm saying? Titus' audience is different from mine. Mine's different from Montrae's and Kevin Lemon's, and so on and so on and so on. What is wrong with that? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all to be celebrated. That's all I'm trying to say. And Bishop Cortez said everybody wants the church but the church. In fact, you like he said, we was just talking about Snoop going crazy and how the thugs can get up and worship, and we would go to a concert and y'all know y'all be killing. And Kev, I know you've seen it and felt it in Montrae. I know we all seen it and felt it at one point. The people, the Negroes that do what we do will sit there and act like we ain't moving them at all. They will sit there and act like that. They would do it. They'll do it. But you go and sing at a secular event, Snoop Dogg will be up crying and worshiping. This is a millionaire. He could sit up there and act like you ain't doing nothing if he wanted to. He could do that. But he don't do that. What is up with that? That's all I'm going to say.
I think with the secular side, they have a different perspective of who God is to them.
I love that.
So they're not really concerned with the riffs and the runs and the squalling and this, that, and that, the antics of gospel music, the antics of church. You know, they just go straight there, if that makes sense. You know, everything with the church that I've seen from my coming up, it has to be a warm-up.
That's true.
Let me bring it a little closer. It's not supposed to be this way, but people use praise and worship as a warm-up.
It's true.
It's to get you started. It's to get you going. And then it's the pastor's job to lay you out, you know, and all that. That's, you know, it's the perspective that people have, which is why it takes so many worship leaders so long to tap in. Because the people come because I need you to get me started. Instead of using your coffee to get you started, you know, I need you to get me started right now.
Is that a church thing? Or is that how we was trained? Bishop, you being a leader, what is that?
That is a lack. That is because of a lack of teaching and instruction.
Absolutely.
It's like I grew up Kojic, so I hope don't nobody get offended in prayers for the shared family and the transition of Dad shared today.
Yeah.
But even it became away from the origin of what Bishop Mason meant it for. We use the yes, Lord, to calm people down.
Right.
And that's never what the intention was for it. So we've taken praise and worship which is a issue for me. Matter of fact, this is how much of an issue it is for me. Fifth Sunday of the year, we had an APMG, which is fifth Sunday of last month. I'm sorry. We had an APMG day, which is like kind of family and friends. The 45 minutes I would take to preach, I did a praise and worship experience. Because until we teach people, see, there's a thing. When the Levites went up in the Bible, it was not a matter of passing time. It was a matter of intimidation.
Ooh.
Wow. So when they sang and they worshiped, you can look at 2 Chronicles chapter 20, and you can look at Jehoshaphat, how because of what God instructed them to do, said, pull the Levites together, and I want them to sing this phrase, praise the Lord, for his mercy endureth forever. And the Bible said, while they were worshiping, the enemy turned on them own selves. Worship was not meant to get our services started. It was meant to intimidate every enemy that was about to come against the mission of that particular moment.
Talk about it.
Most worship leaders are great singers, but they're horrible moment managers.
Teach, Bishop.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So they get up and they can riff us into a frenzy, but you can't manage a moment into his glory.
Ooh.
That's good.
Worship and praise is for warfare. It's not for time.
Woo. He said they could riff you into a frenzy, but what? Would you say, Bishop? Was that
but cannot manage a moment into his glory. Because a worship leader, that's your responsibility, not to sing, but to manage the moment. Right. It's whatever he wants happen, you can hear him enough to interpret what he wants to a people. That's a real worship leader. Has nothing to do with songs. It has nothing to do with service outlines. It has everything to do with moment management. Because if you know the glory of God, it always moves in waves, and it never does it the same way.
Wow.
So you have to manage those moments, manage those ways. And that's where I can say this, y'all probably can't. That's where most senior pastors get in trouble, us bishops, apostles, and all that fivefold ministry, because we don't spend enough time in worship, that we don't understand how to worship. And we get intimidated when real worship hits a room, because you can't control and manipulate real worship. That's it.
I'm sorry. Don't leave me, man.
Every praise and worship leader needs to watch this.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Jesus Christ, Doc. This every time I come on here for Bishop, man, and fellowship with you brothers, but Bishop always dropping some stuff, man. I use this analogy in one of my posts one day, and my God, Doc, boy, you be blessing me, Doc.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna say this. Worship leaders, you need to learn how to manage the moment.
Manage the moment, manage the moment, man.
Manage the moment.
Manage the moment.
I love it.
Stop singing us into a frenzy and doing all your riffs.
Manage
the moment. That's your job.
Yes, sir, Doc.
It is.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you.
It's crazy, man.
A lot of it has to do with the way we were brought up, right? We just spoke about that. It depends on what your church did. We just follow and suit, right? We just doing what we saw. It went from devotional service, I remember that, to then it was praise and worship. And then a formality. And there's nothing wrong with having rehearsals and having your song list set for Sunday. I'm a stickler on those type of things. There's nothing wrong with those type of things. But where's the room for God to do what he wants to do if everything is already set up? What if something happens or something shifts? What are you supposed to do then? Well, listen, we already rehearsed this. This is what we going to do.
But Trey, that's why it needs to be that way in rehearsal.
Love it.
I tell our praise team this. There should never, or my group especially, there should never be a time that we come together to sing about God and something not happen.
Yeah, man.
I don't care if it's rehearsal. I want to be healed, set free, and delivered in rehearsal. So then when we get on stage, we ain't got to put on no performance. We just do what we do.
It's natural.
Yeah, it's just, y'all killed it. No, we just do what we do all the time.
Yeah, man.
So that means no matter what environment I'm in, you're going to get me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Rehearsal, you got to rehearsal, Doc. Yes, sir.
You have to almost practice worship.
Yes, sir, man.
Practice his face.
You should. They taught us that as children. Think about the words you are singing about. Think about who you are singing about. That should move you within itself. Those were the type of things that we were taught growing up. I know I heard it in my choir as a little boy growing up. You know, that's what my aunt taught us. That's what our leaders taught us, and that carried over to my rehearsal. I find myself saying a lot of stuff that the older folks were saying to me back then. I'm like, oh my God, I'm turning into the old people. But it's real. It's real. We should not, like you said, Bishop, we should not come together, not one time, and not feel something, not worship. There's a problem with that. It's just a whole run through. I love that. And if that's what some of your rehearsals have been, that's been watching, switch it up and watch what God does in this next season. Woo. Woo.
And Trey, they don't even have to switch it up. They just got to mean it.
Oh. I was trying to be nice.
They just gotta mean it. You don't even have to switch it up. Just mean what you say. They used to tell me as a preacher, if it don't hit you first, then don't preach it.
That's right, man.
That's true.
The old saints.
It should hit you before it hit anybody else.
Yes, sir.
Let it be real.
Real. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna shut up, man. I love y'all though.
Doc, I love it, Doc. My God.
Listen, guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to leave. I gotta get on another Zoom meeting. But man, I got mad respect for y'all. Bishop, bless you, man. Thank you for everything you've done. You have poured into me just this quick. I'm a better person tonight. I appreciate
bless
you, bro. I really do.
Bless you, bro. I'm just happy to be here. This Trevone.
I'll see you soon. Trey, Montrae, we'll see you next week.
Yo, I'll see you next week.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good night. Keith Wonderboy, bless you, man. Wait, let me go back to my other person. Go to Titus. Yes.
Bro, I met you before, bro. We was in New Orleans together, bro.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I remember. Joe, man. Joe, my guy.
Yeah, that's my dude. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Much love to y'all, man. I gotta go. I gotta get on this meeting.
Go ahead, family. Love you. But Bishop, Vaughn, Keith Wonderboy, Titus, Montrae, we've been doing this thing. At the end of the day, we want to be impactful in what we're doing. We don't want to just be doing it for naught. And I know you guys are not doing it for naught. That's why I ask you guys to come on every time we come on, because you have a heart for the people, and you really have a heart for God. And I believe that you have something to say that will inspire and encourage the next generation, or people that are just standing right beside us, to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because I spoke to someone earlier tonight, Bishop, and they were saying, yo, bro, I didn't know it took all of this. I didn't know it take all that. It's so discouraging. I'm just done. I'm like, oh, welcome to the club. Like, you think you're the only one that feels that way? I said, let me get Keith Wonderboy Johnson on the phone. You think you're the only one that ever dealt with it? I said, that's a Stellar Award winning artist. Multiple. Let me get these guys on the phone who actually been to the mountaintop, that could tell you it ain't what you think it is all the time. You know what I'm saying? Stay 10 toes down, keep your head down, keep working, and don't get discouraged. What do we say to those artists that are getting discouraged, or just anybody in general that feels like what they're doing is just not working, and maybe they should just forget about it all? Anybody can answer on that.
You got to know that you're called to do this, because you'll take the rainy days. You got to be able to take the rainy days along with sunny days. But when you start looking back over your life and your career or whatever, and you start really being truthful, you got to be truthful when you look in that mirror. There have been way more good days than bad days.
That's a fact.
And you have to be real with yourself and realistic with yourself. You have to tell you, everybody cannot be Kirk Franklin. That is not your assignment that the Lord assigned you to. He assigned you to be you. So that's why you can't look at other people's success. You know what I'm saying? You got to really know what the Lord has called you to. Everybody does a great job. And nothing against Kirk Franklin, nothing against nobody. But I know for a fact, it's some people that the Lord assigned to me. Keith Wonderboy Johnson reaches them.
That's a fact.
And you have to be clear. So to do this, you got to grow all the way up. And that does not mean you're not going to get frustrated sometimes.
I love that. I love that. And like you said, Keith said, this legend said a key word: be real with yourself. He said everybody's not gonna be a Kirk Franklin, and he's right. Everybody's not gonna be a Donnie McKirk. Everybody's not gonna be a Marvin Sapp. Everybody's not gonna be a Bishop Cortez Vaughn. Everybody's not gonna be Montrae, Titus Showers, whoever. Everybody, but be you, because can't nobody beat you at being you, and there's nothing wrong with being you. We don't need another Kirk. We got him already. We don't need another Titus. We got him already. We don't need another Keith Wonderboy. We got him already. Bring what you bring to the table, and everything else will sort itself out. I think that's the issue there, big bro, because they don't know how to handle. They don't know how to handle it when they find out they're not going to be what they want it to be. More so. How do you deal when God says no to what you want? That's
perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective. Philippians says, being confident of this very thing, that he that hath begun a good work in me shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. When your perspective is wrong, you leave the outcome up to you and other individuals. When your perspective is right, then you understand the outcome belongs to him. So when we make up in our mind, I'm not trying to be what I've imagined, but I want to become what he's declared, then it's not up to me to figure it out. It's not up to me to make it happen. He does it. Now, faith without works is dead. So it does require a level of work, but the outcome is not up to me. The work is. And the problem is we have a lot of individuals that want outcome with no work. We want harvest with no seed.
Oh, man.
And we see a harvest and say, I want that. Somebody told me, I want to be like you. I want an XYZ. You don't want the divorce. Because it took all that for me to get there. So there's a lot of stuff about my story and my process that you don't want. But at the end of the day, when I open up my mouth, my process comes out.
Right.
Not from a hurt place. I'm sorry. But because he's healed me and continue. So the problem is they want power with no process. And you don't get power without process. You can get a billboard, but you won't have power. But when you got process, you get power and a billboard.
Yeah, man.
I got another P to add to that. They want promise without process. Yeah. You can't skip over process to get to the promise. You have to go through the process. Bishop,
because the process fulfills your potential.
Confirmation.
Yeah, man.
And without you will never know the potential in your gift, talent, or your ability to be who he's called you to be without the process proves you. None of us are here without a process.
None of us.
And you know what, Trey, Keith, Titus, Montrae, as far as we will continue to go, we're not done with the process.
That's true. That's true.
Even Keith, as wonderful as he is, said I had to go back and I had to revamp. I had to get some new stuff. I had to get me a phone because he's not done. Because God is always evolving. Things are always evolving. And as they evolve, come on here, relevancy. As they evolve, you have to continue the process.
You have to.
And not be afraid of the evolution of your own self.
That's a whole fact. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
You preaching up there.
I pray that this is blessing you guys as much as it's blessing me, those that are on, those that are watching, those that will watch. Very impactful tonight, very powerful, very rich. It's everything that I needed to be and more on a good Thursday night, on a good Veterans Day. It's everything we needed to be more and more, because God is trying to shift the mindset of you. Well, he wants you to shift your own mindset. He ain't even trying no more. He said, I want you to shift your mindset and bring it to where it needs to be. And it's all about perspective. Stop getting discouraged by what you don't have or what you feel you don't have, and go off what I have given you, what I've assigned to your hands. Do the work and watch me work. It'll work if you work it. Anything can work if you work it, and I'm a firm believer in that. Titus, who's also a business owner like myself, it don't work if we don't work it, right?
Absolutely not, brother. You gotta get out there and put the box in the mud, bro.
And well, you let me know, because if you haven't been working it, it has been working. I would have tried that way, because that's the way I want
that way, Doc. You gotta go out there and brand it yourself. You gotta go get it, man. Even when we started our mental health business, Doc, me and my brother went knocking on doors, man. You know, just to get it started, man. You know, so you have to invest in yourself. Have to do whatever it takes in order for it to be prosperous. So you're right, brother.
And Montrae, I know I got you, bro. Go ahead. We love you, man. You got something to say before you got some nuggets to drop on your peers before you roll?
I'm on here to get the knowledge and wisdom, man. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm young buck in this game. I'm just listening to the OGs tonight. So I love y'all. I love y'all. Titus, bro. Love you, bro.
Bless you, brother.
Man, Uncle Cortez, love you, dude. And Trey, you already know I'm gonna talk to you this week, because I need to order my stuff.
Yo, whenever you ready, got you, Brody.
Okay. Love y'all, fam. Trey, thank you for letting me come on, bro.
You already know.
All right, peace.
And then there were 4. we got 10 minutes left into this topic, and we out. But the fact of the matter is, I just wanted to get on here tonight, as we do every month, once a month, to continue to strengthen the body of Christ and those that are feeling like they're at their wits' end. I sympathize with you. I empathize with you. I have been you. And if it wasn't for the grace, I could be you again. The person that's willing to say, the heck with this. It's not going the way I planned it, and I'm ready to drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? And Keith is here to say, I did drop the ball, but I picked it back up. And now what? You know what I'm saying? I'm still going. And actually, the latter part is better. Because once you... Go ahead, Keith, God. No, go ahead, talk about it. Talk about it. Because can't nobody talk for you like you could.
Yeah, stuff that used to make you mad and upset, it don't even matter. It don't even matter. Nope.
I didn't know it didn't matter. That's why I gave so much attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Bishop Vaughn said something the other week. The other month. Bishop, are you still there? He's gonna probably come back. He's gonna come back to a second. He's actually, his camera's off. But
I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
you
here.
Said something. God will. You put it to the way he basically he uses the things that we no longer care about anymore. And like, what was that thing you said? That topic that thing blessed me so good. We were speaking about the aspect of the things that would have bothered us at a time, and now it's like, okay, God can deal with that now, because you no longer desire that anymore. You no longer care anymore. You look at it differently. What was that thing?
Yeah, I think part of it was with age and maturity, you learn that what mattered at 20 don't matter at 30 no more, and then what mattered at 30 don't matter at 40 no more. It's like the more you mature, the less the immature things matter. And at the end of the day, God will use the thing that doesn't matter to somebody else.
That was it. That was the one right there. So while you're stressing about, this and that right now, they don't pay, they don't like me, this and that, and a few more years, if that, I'm like, the heck with them. I'm going on. This is what, when you become comfortable in your own skin, nothing much rattles you. Nothing much rattles you. And I'm so glad that street mindset a little bit was in me from, like, we didn't care. And I'm just going to tell you in the streets, we liked you. We liked you. If we didn't rock with you, if you wasn't on our squad, you wasn't a part of our little crew, our little gang, we didn't care. We didn't care about your money, whatever. We wasn't trying to kiss up to you. If we did not like you, we didn't mess with you. We stayed on our side, and you stayed over there with yours. And if you came over here, it was going to be a problem. And that was kind of the street mentality that I'm glad kind of carried over with me, because nothing much fazed me in that end. I'm not trying to be down with nobody in order to get ahead or whatever case may be, because I believe whatever's meant for me, I'm going to get anyway. You know what I'm saying? And if I work towards it, if I grind towards it, so what I don't get your approval? So what you don't stamp me or deem me as the next? I'll deem myself as the next. I got now. In fact, how about that? Since you don't want to open the door, I'll come through the window. And that's kind of the mentality we need to have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we're going to be successful at anything in life, you can't let anything deter you, anyone deter you from what you know God has called you to do. Let me know if I'm talking right or not, brothers.
You're talking, man.
Right. Like you say, you look, a lot of people, they hear that saying, but they don't understand it. When they hear that in church, oh, you looking at my glory, but you don't know my story. No, that's you really don't.
Right.
You really don't. So like I said, every time it's always a new level. I tell them, think about it this way. As long as you live, and there's always another level to go to. So imagine, think of your mind when you once you graduated from 6th grade, you was excited. Oh, I just graduated from elementary school. Now you in the 7th, in the 8th. Then when you graduate from junior high school, you in high school now. So imagine when you think back to that age, and you know how you think. Imagine if when you got to the 10th or 11th, you got to the 11th grade, I got one more year to go. And then they tell you, okay, we had a computer error. You're going to have to go back to the 5th grade. Man, so that's why certain stuff don't bother you no more. You're like, man, I'm not going back to that. That's old. Go back to that.
Good analogy, bro. Yeah.
Right. So you see your guys tripping. That's how I told you, Dre. I was honest with you. I was like, dude, I got to the point now, I thank God for the blessings. Man, I ain't tripping about no Stellar Award. I got a couple.
You got them already. You ain't got to trip.
Right. Like they in dust. But guess what? When I was climbing, they didn't see the 10 times that or 12 times that I went that I lost back to back to back. So you always got that what makes you people when you earn it and the Lord take you in his time, it make you think about it. For example, I use, that's our homeboy. I use JJ as an example. Look where he at now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I used to be one of them backstage teasing them.
Come on.
Because we homeboys.
Yeah.
I was backstage teasing them.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that, Doc. Because up our way, them roads, when he had to be the choir that back up Shirley Caesar, one of them, those are the junior high school graduation robes that we used to wear, yo.
Right.
I used to be backstage killing them.
Yeah.
But now,
man, bro.
You can reflect on stories like that. So I remember a time, man, the first time we went to the Stellars, Doc, I was so green. I was taking pictures with the ice sculptures.
You was in Nashville, Tennessee?
Nah,
what the first one was?
We was out of control, yo.
Yeah.
But everything, because guess what I was taught? I was blessed. We had a pretty good successful, hit on radio. And then here it is, I know an artist that I was talking to. They performed on the Stellars. That means everything, supposedly. Right. They performed on the Stellars. They won New Artist of the Year. And they told me, I switch with you in a heartbeat. You can have that. They was like, I just had a baby. It's January. You booked until October.
Right.
You can't buy no Similac with no Stella.
With no Stella, man.
But guess what? When you do it God's way, and when the time comes, you'll get all of it the way what's supposed to be for you.
Yes,
that's why. Trey, I admit, Doc, I used to rag JJ about them IS 44 robes that the Stellars used to make them wear. from Brooklyn. You know, that was the junior high school role. That was what we won in a junior high school graduation. Pick your color, blue or gold.
Oh, I'm about to say, who's that? I'm about to say, Titus, you had
the wrong button, bro. I pressed the wrong button. My bad.
Yo, but you know what you guys have been saying has been eye-opening, refreshing. A lot of stuff. You know, it's not like we never heard it before, but it hits different now when you're in a different place in life. The ventures that we on, we, like you said, what happened 10 years ago, we see why it had to happen that way. The relationships we lost, the disconnect. This has been a disconnecting season, and I'm glad and I'm grateful for it. Everybody that God has separated me from, I needed to be separated from. Everybody who needed to go is gone. And thank God. I'm worried about the now and what's in front of me, and I'm moving forward in that. Titus, you got some new joint getting ready to come up. You know, that couldn't have happened without there being some shavings away. That you needed something to help you produce this project, I'm sure.
Absolutely, man.
And we all go through that. You know, I don't know what it was for you, but I know what it is for me. I'm about to write some of my best music now.
There it is, man. We all sitting down, man. We see what the world is going through. We know what we're going through as a people, and you can relate to that, man, and just ask God to bless you, man. That's everything I do. I read my devotions, man, and God will wake me up in the middle of the night and give me something to say, and I just start writing, and it's applicable to what's going on to everyday life. And so you can't help but to relate to it, you know, right. Because it's what we all are going through. And I'm just thankful that he gave me something that the people need to hear, man, at such a time as this. So I'm excited about, you know, the process as well as what the people getting ready to hear.
Man, I can't wait, y'all. I'm telling you, I sneaked in and heard some of the stuff when you was on live one time. I was like, okay, this boy is coming with some stuff. I said, the Brody coming with some stuff. I'm gonna sharpen up over here too. Make sure we coming with it too. We gotta come with it. Titus, you coming with it, Brody. You coming with it,
bro. Bless you, man.
Yo, Keith is steady working. Every time I turn around, Keith sending me something like, yo, I'm in the studio. I'm doing it. I'm like, dang, man, do you ever stay home?
Yeah, work, man.
This man is in the studio at least a couple times a week. I mean, like, no lie. This man is the busiest man I know. That's a whole fact.
He's the truth, man.
Johnson is a worker.
He's the truth, bro.
Y'all think y'all working. Y'all not working.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know. According to certain people, I wasn't even supposed to be there. I ain't know. I was like, just give me a mic. I'm gonna do what I do.
Do what I do, bro. That's all you can do, man.
I let him know. I'm sorry. I'm from New York, but I don't know how to rap. But matter of fact, I do know how to rap. I'm gonna rap Cortez style. One of these old mornings, and it won't keep very long. You gonna look for me? I'll be going home.
Yeah, man.
So, you know what I'm gonna do before we get up out of here? I'm gonna give y'all a treat. Titus, sing something, one of your favorite songs from off your new. Give us a little acapella of one of the new joints off the new project. That's gonna be the next thing to come out next year,
bro. So, bro, man, I wrote this song called Tomorrow, and we wanted to bring some type of joy to it instead of some sadness. And the outro goes, it says, "Tears may fall. The night's almost gone. It won't be long. No. 'Cause joy is waiting for me. Where is it waiting? Tomorrow." Man, I can't wait for the people to hear it, bro.
Well, and then he put the whistle on it, Keith.
It's gonna bless the life of people, man.
Really? Okay.
Brother, man.
Then he put the yo.
I can't wait. I'm gonna send that to y'all, bro. Let y'all listen to it, man.
Send that,
I'm gonna have to get the email, bro. shoot it to me. Oh no, give me your number. We're gonna text me your number.
Hey, you got my number, right?
I got you, Trey. I got you. I'm gonna get Keith. I'm gonna send it to you, bro.
Oh yeah, I know you got mine.
I'm gonna send it to you for sure.
I'm telling y'all, man, it's fire. I was listening to some stuff, man. This brother, I just love true singing, man. This dude is a powerhouse all by himself. These two powerhouses in here, y'all need to do a track together. Just do quartet, because Titus could do some quartet singing. Because you got to be able to sing.
Professional in respect, because like I said, the first time that I can remember that we actually really and was conversating was at the Double Wars.
Yeah.
A lot of people they act like they supposed to be there. They've been there all the time and all like that. So I kept it 100 with them. I was like, I ain't never been to no Double War. This is my first time here.
Killing in the back. Keep Wonderboy. I brought my mama. My mama loved I Just Want to Be Right. She took a picture with him, bro. I'm surprised you for that, brother.
Wow.
Keith, that's crazy.
I'm happy here. And I was like, and I told her, I said, be encouraged, bro, because they ain't giving everybody a mic. They gave you the mic.
Yo, the Double Wars is different, and the crazy thing is, I gotta confess, I still haven't been yet, and I've gotten the opportunity to go a couple times. I was just like, I always felt like, one thing you taught me, Keith, you go when you have reasons to. And I'm like, I'll go when one day I'm gonna have a reason to go. And that's what I'm waiting on.
Experience new. But see, the thing is, you got the right training and you have the right mentality. Now, one thing I can tell you about the Dove, and the same as the Stellar Wars, if you got the wrong mentality, they would bring you to reality real quick.
Yeah, bro.
If you thinking you more than what you really are, Titus is my witness. They'll be like, excuse me, stand behind this roof right here, buddy.
Right.
And right there.
How did you get this pass?
Yo, I got news for y'all. The Stellars do that too. How about one time?
That's what people saying.
Somebody won. I'm not gonna say their name. This person actually won a Stellar a couple years ago. Well, at that time, maybe they won a Stellar like a couple of years before. And then I'm like, how this person win a Stellar? And then in the next 2 years, he got to stand on the line, and y'all over there questioning him for credentials. Y'all gave him a Stellar before. What do you mean? You can't tell who that is?
Don't mean nothing, bro.
I said, that's what I said, yo. That's where industry is disrespectful.
They strictly got the Jackson ministry over there, Doc. What have you done lately?
Lately, exactly.
That's the sad. That is the thing that I do not like about our industry, because in the R&B world, all you need is one hit. You're a legend forever.
Yeah.
You got 2-3 hits? Oh, please. You're gigging off of that still.
Right. You just mentioned Nori's podcast, and some of the boys only have 2 hits, but he's giving them respect. Nori had a good run, but Nori probably only got about a good 6-7 hits, maybe. And I'll say right.
The ones I can remember.
Right.
Mainstream, but their money is different. It's different.
Money different, bro.
Is different. It don't add up. It don't add up to what it's different, man.
Right.
Their bag can still get them a house, a little villa somewhere. They get on Love and Hip Hop, and they got stuff to. That's another thing about Love and Hip Hop. They got things to revive their careers. So if you wasn't rapping no more, once you get on reality TV, everybody want to be in your business and see if you cheating on your spouse and doing that, you fighting and see, we can't do that kind of stuff because we start exposing our stuff. Then that's it. That's it for our career.
We got.
That's not it for our career because these gospel music artists are something.
Right, we got a new gospel reality TV.
What
is called
it? Clubhouse.
Yo, somebody was just telling me something about Clubhouse. But you can't see nobody's faces on there, right?
Clubhouse picture, but you can be whatever you want to be in Clubhouse. You can say you're a multi-platinum producer on Clubhouse. Yeah.
Bro, I've never gone there. I've been on there like twice.
I'm not gonna lie. I had this conversation with somebody tonight.
Rearranged stories.
I had this conversation with somebody tonight, Keith, and they told me they got so discouraged by going on those clubhouse things. I thought it was like a strength type, like what we doing. I thought that's what they would do. They was like, no, bro. They was like, I got so discouraged, man. Almost just made me want to give up. I said, are you serious? Somebody just told me that tonight.
It's just like Facebook, whatever. The thing is, just like how you saying reality TV, you have the good part, and then you have the the bad part. And for some reason, people like to maneuver towards the bad part. Now, I can say I've benefited from the positivity of Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, one thing about it, I'm thrilled. People have opinions, but resumes don't lie. So I embrace it. Like when me and Titus got to, got people now they get offended. I don't get offended. He's like, hey man, my mama love Be Right, man.
Right, bro.
It was 21 years ago when I recorded Be Right. But guess what? I'm gonna tell you what one of the old pros told me. Ain't nobody gonna remember, like, they in our world they call it dumping a house when you do good at a concert.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody gonna remember no concert you dumped 15 years ago.
Wow.
They will remember a recording you did.
Bro.
Trust
me. Bro.
That's a whole fact.
That's heavy, bro.
I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let y'all go. What do we feel about the gospel artists that are being free and letting it all hang out? Literally, just saying anything on social media. I mean, anything.
Man, cats want to prove they so much from the streets, bro. We all from the streets, bro.
Right.
But there should be some kind of you gotta cap that stuff, bro. You
gotta have some kind of
out of that, man.
Give me a second, Trey. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. I got something made. I'm about to take it into the stores. Hold on.
I don't know what Keith get ready to come back with y'all, but I'm sure it's something.
Everybody want to be a gangster, bro. You know what I'm saying? You smoke, you drink, and then you want to bring it out to the public, bro. But bro, hey, man.
This is my thing. If you do that, do that. Don't. Why try to be on this side of the spectrum?
Right.
Trey, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
I'm gonna be at the venues with you, hustling my t-shirt. You ready?
Thugs and Cortez don't mix, bro. Absolutely, bro.
I love it.
Everybody a gangster, man.
I'm tired of you. Like, yo, man, I come from the streets, yo. No, you don't.
You right about it.
For example, you know where I come from. You know the community where the barbershop was at. And all the years I was in the hood. In the street,
I lived right over there in the projects coming to the, so we knew we was in the hood.
Right.
And they always knew me as a church boy.
Church boy. Right. They respect you, bro. They respect you.
My nickname, Church Boy.
Church Boy. They come to me when they need a problem. They come to you. When the funerals happen, you go sing at them. Because that's my dog. Yeah. That don't mean I was a street guy.
Exactly.
All I goons too, man.
Is we should be an example. That's all I'm saying. We should be an example. I'm not saying you perfect, but why you on the street saying crazy stuff?
Raise it up, Keith. Raise it up.
Raise it up. Raise it up.
I gotta let you read it first.
I'm trying to, bro.
Well, I'm trying to. I can't. It's a little blurry. What is that? Loxism.
Locism?
Locism is a disease.
Locism.
Locism is a disease.
You making up words, man.
Locism is a disease. Which was
how they get mad? That ain't just it requires to when they call you a loc, they get mad. Like what? Yeah. We traveling. We national.
Loc. Oh, loc. Okay.
Oh, you local. Local.
About that.
Oh, excuse me.
There is a mentality. It's a mentality. You can be a local artist, but still professional.
Yeah, bro.
That's true. That's true.
You should have shared the shirt when you gave that analogy, bro. When you was in NYC. You in Madison Square, man. Come on, bro. You like from Marcy to Madison Square.
Come on, that's where we at. Well, he not anymore. He in ATL.
Good ATL. Okay, but I knew you was
I'm in New York still. He left us.
We a community though, Titus, for real. Like I said, you gotta remember when every artist, a certain age, you gotta remember when stories starting from Bishop Heads.
Yeah.
Everybody that's from New York, you gotta remember when.
Yeah, bro.
Like I shared with you like that. I remember when me and JJ was backstage and he did what he had to do to get where he at now. He did not like that junior high school graduation road, but he did what he had to do.
I got you, bro.
All I'm gonna say is, you know what it took for you to get on. Don't get on and then forget. That's all. You guys, those of you that are left watching, you got pioneers here on this broadcast with me. Performed on the Stellars. Titus Showers has. Keith Wonderboy has performed on the Stellars and won Stellars. At the end of the day, they're regular guys too. They're not sitting up there saying, "Oh, I need $850 just to participate in the Zoom." I mean, they coming on here just being real, giving you the reels. You know what I'm saying? They haven't forgotten because they knew what it took for them to get there. And I got another thing for you. They know what it takes for us to stay there. Okay? It's a continuous grind.
That's when Trey started calling me a troublemaker. I started telling the truth, Doc. I was like, Trey, don't let them front on you, Doc. All of us at the house.
Yeah, bro.
Right. That's right.
Got no schedule. We at the house.
At the house.
Right. That's right. Man. We don't play. We real family over here. We real family over here.
Man, I love it, bro.
I almost they at the quote unquote Stellars ain't got a dime in their pocket. Bro.
Right, bro.
All right, now it's time for us to get off here. All right, so
but I appreciate y'all, bro.
But you're not lying. You're not lying. And I'm gonna tell you, I remember going to the Stellars and paying all that money and getting in the room and hardly having any money for myself, performing on all the sideshow bobs and everything else, just trying to, come up. But thank God I did some of those things because it did connect me with a lot of different people, relationships that are still standing today. I didn't skip over process. I didn't skip over process for promise. I went through the steps. To the point where when we do the Stellar Weekend now, they hit me, Trey, if you bring the group, I don't have to worry about paying that phenomenal fee to get on the program anymore because certain people are just hitting me, asking me to perform. That's what people don't want to go through. They feel like everybody should pay. They should pay for them to come down to the Stellars. Like, who is you? We should pay you to come down to the Stellars? For what?
Yeah,
we don't know you.
That's why I told you, Trey. Titus was with me, but the Dove is worse.
I'm sure that's a whole different
level, dog.
They was trying to make it. They were trying to make some of the events. They was trying to do it like how they do Stellar Weekend. I see they was unsuccessful down there with that.
No, they don't play that too much, man. They don't play too much of that stuff, man. It's not too many of us acting the way we act on that side. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Ain't too many side shows going on down there, I see.
Oh, no.
And
I've never heard of a side show or a choir show over there, period, bro.
Yeah.
I've been like 3 times, man. I know they have the pre-show and then they have the show, and it's all in the same day. You actually leave from the pre-show to go to the show.
Oh man, and then maybe that's why, because see, when black people do stuff, we got to drag it out. We got to have 3 days,
and they got to take a lunch break. That's why I bumped into Titus. Now we bombarded that Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Oh my God!
You saw Grammy Award winners, everybody. That's us at that Chick-fil-A.
And so everything happens on one day, pre-show and the show. That explains why all the other extra shenanigans don't go on. It explains.
That's why you got to stay humble. Trust me. I tell you, I admit it. Okay, when I was starting out on our side, I had a specific script that I used to follow to introduce myself. I got into the real press room at the Dove, and I had to go back to my initial script, buddy, explaining my name and the whole. That's a bad. So if I would have walked in there big time, they know me. No, they don't.
No, they don't. Man, they was asking me questions. Who you here for tonight? I'm like, but I didn't slip up. I was rambling off some stuff. Some people who I met at the pre-show or somebody.
And Titus is going there saying, "Nigga, you just saw me perform for the Christmas special on the Stellars, nigga."
Right. No, they don't know nothing about that. Titus going there flipping on niggas. The numbers different and the production is different, bro.
It's different. They like, yo, dog, what you did over there? Like that, like we on a different wavelength over here.
It's totally different. I'm Steve. Is it different?
Way different.
Oh my God.
Like he said, it humbles you. You're like, dang, maybe I need to grind some more. Like niggas don't even know. Dang, I just performed on a whole national TV show, and they like, I need to go to work.
It wasn't their organization, Trey. They stuff that you think is big, and they be looking at you like, oh, nice. Okay.
they on TBN. You feel me?
Yeah.
What is that? What station? Them people have their own network stations, bro. Come on.
I'm not going. We gotta go. I'm not going. Y'all make me talk all night.
Go too, bro.
Yeah, we gotta go. Shout out your social media, because I was gonna say something, man. I'm like, this about to turn left.
I am
This about to turn left.
I am Titus Showers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Holla at your boy. Projects on the way, man.
I can't wait. Keith Wonderboy, give him your social media handle.
On Instagram, you supposed to be sending me some people. I still need some help, Trey. You can hit me at Instagram at Keith Wonderboy Johnson. Facebook is at Keith Wonderboy Johnson. You can even email me at keithwonderboyjohnson@gmail.com. And I don't have no TikTok. I ain't got time to make it.
I ain't got no TikTok neither, and I don't want one. And Trevone Perry _ on Instagram, Trevone Perry Facebook, Trevone Perry Twitter. Follow me. We got some great things coming up. We just did the music video for All Right, part 1 anyway, and we got part 2 coming up. Keith, if you could get up here to the 22nd, you could be in part 2. Titus, you too. If y'all want to take a trip, that's this month. That's this month, November 22nd. If you're gonna be in New York,
I'm coming home for Thanksgiving. Move it back like one day.
I wish I already moved it back one day. I was supposed to be doing the shoot on the 21st, but it's my granddaughter's birthday, so I had to move it back to the 22nd. And so that's Thanksgiving weekend, so I figured maybe you would be up here. But either way.
Oh, that's the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's the week before. It's the week before. You're right. It is the week before Thanksgiving. What my mother talking about? You know why? My mother got me messed up because she said that because my mother be prepping y'all like a whole week before Thanksgiving. That's her problem. That's probably what it is. She's prepping like a whole week before because she's like she cooking a big old dinner for 80,000 people. Anyway, thank everybody for tuning in. Those of you that have rocked with us, man, support my boy Titus Showers. He has a hat line. Give him that. Did you give him your hat line information?
Titus Showers merch page on Instagram. Go check me out, man. I got some stuff for you. And I got some new merch coming. fedoras there, man. Then I have new merch coming, you know, self-entitled album. That's why I'll be rocking these Titus Showers shirts, man. It's, you know, it's self-entitled. I'm trying to trend. I'm doing it all myself. We get. So
and look, we all doing it because
everybody get it, baby. We grinding.
I'm rocking mine. Uncle Keith got on my apparel right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Uncle Keith got it on. I got the hat on. Listen, this is a brand. This is branding. We branding here. We branding. Anyway,
absolutely.
Until next time, please remember to live in purpose, on purpose, for the purpose God has on your life. We love y'all. We out.
All right, bro.
Bro.